Welcome to the Caffe Orsini Pinguini.
I'm Joe, the big bear.
And I am Carlo, the singing penguin. For nearly 40 years, we have hosted an annual Christmas party for our families.
We bake the traditional Christmas pastries of Carlo's Italian family and my Midwestern family.
And we'd like you to join us.
Well, welcome to the Caffe Orsini Pinguini. Today we are going to be making a traditional treat that Carlo's family makes at Easter time. It is called, by the family, it's called Biscottini, Viscottini, or Viscontini. It's a strange and wonderful combination of a breadstick and a donut. I'm going to go over the dry ingredients. 1 3/4 cup of flour, a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, a pinch of salt. Now the wet ingredients: 3 eggs, a tablespoon of sugar, a tablespoon of vegetable oil. Then we have the flavorings: a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla, the zest of a small lemon, a teaspoon of sambuca, a drop of anise extract, and a drop of lemon extract. Thanks.
Well, thank you for showing everyone the ingredients, baby.
Okay, you're welcome.
Well, and now we'll start actually doing the mixing. The recipe begins with the liquid ingredients, and the eggs will be beaten for an entire 5 minutes until they become very light and very creamy.
So it's 5 minutes with just the eggs beating.
Just the eggs.
All right, well, here we
Nothing
go
but
then.
eggs, babe. And
I'll set the timer.
all right,
Okay, there we go.
ready?
Yep.
Right, and now we add a little sugar and whip for another 2 minutes. Right, there we go. Now, the fun stuff. We are going to add a tablespoon of oil, the lemon zest, and the vanilla. And now we will beat for another 2 minutes. Now we add a drop, and it is just a drop, of lemon extract. And another drop, of anise extract. There we go. And a teaspoon of sambuca, a licorice flavored liqueur, very popular in Rome and delicious with coffee. There we go. And now we beat it for another 2 minutes. Look at how thick and creamy that is.
Mm.
Yum, yum.
Beautiful. Yes.
All right, now we're going to do the dry ingredients. And we'll start by mixing the baking powder and the salt in with the flour. We begin by setting 1/3 or so at the most of the flour mixture into the liquid. And on lowest speed, you mix it. And now the rest of the flour is gently folded in, about half of what's remaining at a time. Just over, under, over, under, there we go. Right. Now, and we're going to pause for a second for me to transfer this over to a board where I can knead it. So there we go. So now we knead it a bit, and this is, the traditional way of doing dough is you pat it around a bit and get it nice and round, and then you use the bottom of your palm to stretch it across the board, and that gives it a nice even pressure. Plenty of mixing and squeezing goes on, but you don't damage the dough. The dough is resting in the microwave oven, turned off of course, because it's a nice warm safe place for it. Meanwhile, we have put a medium-sized pan full of water on the stove on low heat just to keep it warm. Later, we'll bring it to a medium boil when it's time to boil the biscottini. Okay, now we take the thoroughly rested and relaxed dough out of the microwave and put it back on our little area here. All right, there we go. And let's see, we want to take a good sharp knife and cut it in half. And half again. Half again on the other side as well. And then we're going to take one of the pieces and cut that in half as well. Now, while we're working with these two pieces, it's a very good idea to cover the others with the stretch tape just to keep them from drying out. All right, so we take one of these pieces, roll it. Okay, put it down in the middle of the board here and just gently roll it to about, 1/3 of an inch, something like that. A little less. Then you're getting something like a circle. Okay, and now we're going to cut it. Now, I do not use cutters from the baking store because they don't have exactly the right sizes. What I do use are tops from the various items around the house. Cooking spray, peanut butter, mayonnaise jars. In this case, it's peanut butter and cooking spray, but they're perfect. You can be more elegant, but it's good and it's cheap. So here we go. And we just take the dough away. It doesn't have to be perfect. There, we've got a nice ring, and now we'll make another one. So we take out another
Sure.
wad of dough.
And we just keep doing this until all the dough is used.
All right, we are now putting these rings on the parchment, not to bake them, but to prep them for boiling. Now we reach the next step, which is to boil the rings in water for about a minute or so. And the timing is not determined by the clock, but by how long it takes the rings to rise to the surface. So we'll just drop in 3 rings and then push them gently to make sure that they don't stick to the bottom. And now this water could be boiling a little less. We're going to lower the temperature again. There you go. Again, just touching them. Aha! You can see that they're moving around on the bottom a little bit. They're struggling to the surface and trying to see who makes it first. All right, let them sit at the top for about
2, 3, 4 seconds, something like that.
this guy down here. Aha! He's coming up too. All right. And then take them out with your little scooper. And we put them on a towel to drain and dry out a little bit. You can see that they've puffed up slightly. Very good.
So now we'll do the next 3 batches.
Okay. These are the last ones.
What causes them to rise?
They fill with air. Boiling water seals the outside, and so it makes it more difficult for the air to escape. The air bubbles inside of the dough expand as they get warm, and they rise to the surface. The flour and the oil from the dough is released into the water, and it settles on the bottom of the pan and it cooks a bit, and so towards the end they tend to stick more often. All right, there we go. That is it. Last one out. The rings have been resting and drying on a towel here for about 5 minutes or so. So we're going to take them and put them on a parchment lined cookie sheet. You can usually safely get about 9 or 10 of them onto a tray, and that's what we're doing here. Before we put them into the oven, we take a sharp knife and run it around the edge, the outside edge of the circle, and cut less than 1/4 of an inch into the dough. And the purpose of this is to give free space for the dough to rise. It's like slicing the top of a loaf of bread when you throw it into the oven. It just helps it open up. And these are going into a 375 oven for 10 minutes. Now we're going to take a quick look at them. They look nice. Oh, they look beautiful. And we lower the heat to 325. Oven off, bake, 3, 2, 5. Start for another 15 minutes. Okay, the timer went off. And we are pulling them out, and they look lovely. So we'll put them on a tray to cool. All right, and I'll take the tray outside to cool down.
Hey everybody, you might be able to tell it's nighttime now. Carlo and I took a break after we finished the Biscottini, and we had a traditional Italian dinner. So now we're back. Carlo's going to make a frosting, and these are the ingredients, and those are the Biscottini that we made earlier.
Okay, why don't you tell them what the ingredients are, babe?
Oh, lemon juice, egg white, and powdered sugar.
And some
The flavorings. Are you going to use anise, lemon, and those each?
Just the lemon
Just
and
the
food
lemon.
coloring for some of them.
Oh, okay.
All right. Now this is the traditional Italian, Southern Italian version of the frosting, and it uses raw egg white. And if you have reservations about using raw egg white, just use water instead. And it will come out okay, but not quite as flavorful and yummy as the original recipe. All right, so the first thing is a cup of powdered sugar. 1 egg white. And then the juice of a lemon. So that's a big lemon, so we'll use just this much, and if we think we need more, we'll add the rest of the lemon. Right? And a drop of lemon extract. Well, 2 drops. And now we will do what we've done before. We'll beat these to death.
Get going.
And that took how long, Joe?
3 minutes.
3 minutes, and that's about right, 3 minutes. Okay, and how you apply this is very simple, but a bit messy. Now the best way, in fact the only way to do that, is to use this as if it's a nice thick rich paint. You dip your brush in it and just spread it right into all the grooves and cracks of the pastry. You see it's nice and thick and forgiving, and it will coat the little ring beautifully and dry very hard and shiny. It's a bit messy to work with, but it's not actually that bad because it cleans off your hands easily. And it spreads nicely. And as I say, it's forgiving. If you miss a spot and then go back, the frosting will correct as it dries and still come out nice and smooth. And it is thick, so be careful to use your brush to get it into any little notches or crevices in the pastry. You won't regret it. The white is pretty. It's like the first blossoms in spring. Now we start off with pure white, but as we go along, I'm going to drop a little bit of food coloring in it so that we'll have pastel colors suitable for Easter. We'll take a tiny bit of food coloring, at least a bit possible. All right. Nice pale yellow. Okay. And we'll go on to glaze a few more.
Glazing looks like something I could do, Carlo.
Yes. Would you like to try it?
Yeah.
Shall I hand these over to you?
Sure.
And then we'll let the bear try it.
It sounds a little scary.
Sounds nice.
All right, I'm going to try my first Biscottini coating.
All right. So far, so good.
Yeah, looks good. Yeah, you really have to paint it on there. Don't
Mm-hmm.
you? Wow. Sorry. Wow. I think maybe all I can do. Yeah. Well, there we go. Hey, I think I've done well.
You've done well.
Thank you. That's it. I quit.
Okay, a little drop of green here.
It's really wonderful stuff, isn't it?
Yes, it is really wonderful.
It's fun to play with as well as to eat.
Oh, another color.
There we go. Pinky pink. How's that? Rust pink.
That's nice.
It's pretty. Soft, kind of mauvey pink.
Reaching the bottom of the bowl, it looks like, Carlo.
Yes, I'm reaching the very bottom of the bowl, baby. But I think we will get them all done.
Good.
All right.
Well, good morning. It's the day after, and we're getting ready to eat our biscottini. They are extremely hard, but extremely light, and I think they'll be tender to eat.
They are designed to be eaten with coffee, but not to be dunked into the coffee. If you do, you will lose the delicate texture, and you'll also lose the frosting, which will slip into your coffee. And you don't want that. But they are scrumptious with the
ready?
coffee. We're ready. You want to go first?
Yes. Okay.
All right. Break that little baby and have a bite.
Maybe I'll just bite it.
All right. Me too.
Nice, huh?
Well, I hope you enjoy it as much as we do. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.